I'ma tell.
Is when we were going to Walmart and we passed his car. So one time we were going to Walmart, right? And we got out the car. Lonnie and Mom were in front of me, and I passed his car. It was like a little old car. It was blue. It looked like his car. It was older, and it was a little rusty.
A little rusty.
I passed the car, right? Lonnie and Mom were in front of me, so I passed the car, and I look inside of it, and I see this guy sitting in the driver's seat. He had like a cap on, like, you know the baseball caps that you wear. He had a baseball cap on.
Okay, yeah.
And I turned around, but then I just realized I seen somebody, and I turned back around, and he wasn't there no more.
Oh, I'm scared. So, I used to we used to live with my brother, right? My second oldest brother. Cause I have 3 brothers, and he lived in his house, right? And it was like really old, you could tell, you know. So we lived on the second floor, like all the way on top, and we used to do laundry in the basement because there was a laundry, you know. So I was doing laundry one day, and I was by myself, and which usually happens, you know, and because everybody was like busy doing something, and it was like a Saturday. I'm coming right now. Hold on. So then I had went, to do me and my sister's laundry because she had asked me, and I was like, okay, I'll do it, whatever. I'm not doing nothing anyways. So I was usually playing the game, right? And so I got off the game. I was playing Assassin's Creed at the time, and I got off the game, and I was like, okay, let me do this laundry before she comes home and like gets mad, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like in freshman center. I was like 14, 15 at the time. So in this house, it was like, not that it was off or anything, but it was always something that like didn't make sense to me.
Like it was like a weird vibe?
Like a weird vibe, yeah. And it was always a vibe that I would get from this house.
Yeah.
And it was never anything out of the normal from what I've experienced, but it was just weird. So we had a cat, and it was just like a regular, like obviously like, just like a normal one, like just jumped around, did like normal things, you know. And he would meow to get like to go back inside. So I was like, okay, let's just like time to let him inside. We had a dog too, and he would like always bark at like nothing, you know. So like, oh, maybe he like sees like something, you know. So we so then I'm left by myself, like nobody with me, nothing, you know. Which is like normal, but it's like it's always like somebody's always there with me sometimes, you know, but not all the time. So I go, and I'm like pretty much minding my own business, like, doing laundry, and I was like, getting the clothes out of the dryer, and I see something, and it's the cat, and I was like, oh, it's just the cat, like, it's fine. So it was the cat, and he jumped on top of the washer, and I got scared, and he ran off, right? So then he ran. So in the basement, there's 2 other rooms. So there's another room where like what was turned into a house, like another apartment in the basement, because the laundry room was really big. And then there's another room where their brother would stay, but he wasn't home, you know. So I was by myself, and the cat like jumped, and it scared me, and I was like, oh my god. And then it was like, what a fed, you know. And I was like, oh my god. So then I was like she scared me, like the cat scared me. So then as I turned to look where the cat went, I see this old lady.
I'm scared.
Right, just come out of the basement, because at that time the basement was under construction, right? They were fixing it to be an apartment. I see this old lady come out from like where they were doing construction. And like on my eyes are watering. On the like, so it's like in front of me is the washer and dryer, and like when you walk through the door, there's like racks, you know. So I see her walking like past the racks, and she turned and looked, and I was like, oh, and I was like freaking out, and then she like disappeared. And I was like, what the f? And I ran up. I literally took all my clothes out of like the washer and like whatever, and like anything that I had in the dryer, I put it in the bin, and I ran upstairs. So fast, bro. So then there was this another time where my brother had went to go wash clothes, right, downstairs in the basement. And he said, hey, he's like, hey, I'm gonna leave to go wash, you know, hey, can you like just make sure to like not lock me out the door, you know? So I was like, okay. I'm like, obviously I'm not gonna lock you out the door, idiot. So then I'm laughing at him, and I'm like, of course I'm not gonna lock you out, like that'd be stupid. And he's like, no, for real, because last time I got locked out. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna lock you out, I promise. He said, okay, whatever, right? And I was like, okay, I won't lock you out. So then he's like, he comes back upstairs, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna leave to the store. Do you want anything? I said, yeah, give me some chips. And then he said, all right. He's like, bet. And he's like, he's like, what kind? And then I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, just give me any hot chips. And so he was, all right, I'll come back. Give me like 10 minutes. He's like, if anything happens, sit outside. If you get scared or something, you know? Because I told him about it. He's like, if like, you know, that lady comes back, just sit outside. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And then she's like, the baby's downstairs. Because my nephew was a baby at that time. He's like, the baby's downstairs. He's like, if the mom comes and whatever, if the mom comes in to come bring the baby, just get the baby. So then I'm like, okay, bet, whatever. Like, just, you know, text me when you go outside, okay? And then he's alright. He's like, oh, I got keys anyways. And I'm sitting on the couch, and I hear something, like the ruckus in the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I just ignore it, and then I keep hearing it, and it's like somebody's like shuffling in the house, you know, like how somebody like goes through. So I kept hearing that, and I was like, what in the ghetto? I said, what is that? And then I turn around and I see that old lady again, and I like, my eyes start to water, right? Because it was like, I felt like a lot of sadness. And I was like, what the hell? So then she looks at me and she's like, mi hijos. And I was like, and at the time I knew Spanish, you know, a little bit. And I was like, what? And then she's like, mis hijos. And I was like, what about them? And then I'm like, ¿qué pasa? You know? And then she's like, dead. Like, kept repeating, dead.
Girl, I'm scared. No.
And I was like, and I was freaking out, because like, I've never seen this lady, right? And she disappeared. She went to the bathroom and disappeared, and I went, because the cat usually slept in there, you know? And the cat ran out. And then I went to sit outside, and like, I was like,
wait, so
freaking
this
out.
lady was in like
in my brother's house, just like, it was like a I don't know what she was, bro. But she freaked me out.
In your brother's house?
Yes, like just randomly coming, like not like an actual person, obviously, but like this spirit lady, you know, because she would disappear. I would never see her. So I went to the bathroom, you know, to obviously use the bathroom. I thought my brother had came back, and she popped up in the mirror, and like, when I tell you, bro, she was covered in blood. Her eyes were so black, and she had blood like coming out of her eyes. Bro.
Eyes, you're lying.
Her, I swear to God, traumatized me, mama. Like, when I say traumatized me, bro, traumatized me. Like, I moved out. Luckily we moved out, but I couldn't stay there no more.
Okay, so my story was at my aunt's house. So I went to sleep over, right? Like my aunt's old house, right? So I went to go sleep over. Yeah, I went to go sleep over, and her boyfriend at the time had a clown mask, right, in the closet. And my aunt hates clowns because of what happened when she was little. So she had him like put it away, like in the closet, like where she can't see it, where she can't reach it, where she can't do nothing, right? Thank you. So then, whatever, right? I stepped over, so my aunt had this little futon, and Nessa didn't like sleeping on the futon because like it hurt her back. I don't know. And like I fell asleep, and then I was thinking about the clown mask, and I'm like, you know what? I've never actually seen it, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I fell asleep, and then I feel like a weird, like, I don't know, I feel weird, right? So then I open my eyes, but I'm still laying down on the bed, right? And I don't know if this was a dream or like sleep paralysis or what it was, but I was like, I felt like I was still awake. So I opened my eyes, right, and there's like this big tall buff man that came like in the kitchen, because the bed was like in front of the kitchen, so like it was in the hallway, right? So I'm like looking, and I'm like, who in the ghetto is that? and he comes and he has like this big old hat, like he has like a big beard, he has like a mustache, and like it's just weird, right? So I'm like, who is that, right? And he comes and he's like holding chains, and I'm like, what? So I'm scared, right? And then, yeah, and then there's this little boy, and he comes out like Adi's room. He comes out of Adi's room, and I'm like, dude, like, who are you, bro? So then he puts on the clown mask, and he he starts coming towards me, and I'm like, what in the get? So like I'm panicking, right? Because I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was sleep paralysis or what it was. And then like all of a sudden I like wake up, and then like it weren't there no more.
That's scary.
Yes.